Oh, here it comes. You just talking about it.
Damn. Bring this shit back. So you can stomp on a nigga's head, but you can't kick it. That's what the fuck you telling me? Make it make sense, please, because y'all don't have. It don't make the math don't math.
Don't make this a Clash in Paris match, please. Just have them wrestle in the main event of a SmackDown for like number one contendership or some shit. Please don't add this to the card. Thank you. That's the last thing we need.
You know what? To be honest with you, in a world where we see Trick get drafted and he does go to SmackDown, he could use this as ammo in a promo. Like, what happened to you, dog? You was doing your own thing, even though we had our own thing going on. You was standing on your own. You was standing on business. Now you over here just following behind this white boy. What happened?
And the sad part is, as low hanging fruit it is, I would love for them to use it. Because honestly, if I'm Trick Williams, I surpassed you and lapped you. He's also two-time NXT champion and a TNA World Champion. I surpassed you and I lapped it. Damn, homie. He was a man, homie. Like, oh yeah, that would be my promo. My man Bodell was talking to both teams.
So, why do we have this nigga trying to do what Karrion Kross is doing?
Because
it's not going to work. You can't recreate that shit.
Did you sure as hell try?
It's not the same.
It doesn't matter.
Now, I'm going to be a little bit, I'm going to step back a little bit with how I say, with what I say and how I speak, because you know better than I do about the Wyatts. They have a certain charisma to them that you have a better understanding of.
Yeah.
But I just know what I see with Karrion. You can't recreate that.
No.
And it looks like that's what they're trying to do. Number one, SmackDown ain't like Raw, and I don't think it's ever going to be. So whatever you have going on SmackDown is not going to be the same as Raw. You're not going to get the same effect. But I just feel like what Karrion did was so natural and organic. You're trying to recreate it, even in this little instance with this match with that Wyatt.
But yeah, Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas, I don't see it working. It just looks fake to me. It just looks forced.
At least you were able to recognize it, because that's exactly what I would think.
Okay.
But at least you recognize. But that's but at least you recognize it. But again, Bo Dallas, the Wyatts, they are naturally inept in using mind games and matches and all that. So that just comes with their characters. They just haven't been using it as much because, again, they used to be on Raw. Raw gives an advantage. Raw is Raw. You can do extra clips and shit that you can throw in the middle of the broadcast. But on the flip side of that, you're on SmackDown. Like you said, the time is limited. So, of course, him coming out normal as Bo Dallas makes sense because you can't do all the bells and whistles like you do on Raw.
True.
As our SmackDown stream kind of got slowed down here.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out why. Oh, I see why.
Okay, while he's mixing that up. Damn, I'm not even in the focus. Trying to. So, what was the name of Karrion's faction? It wasn't Authors of Pain. It was bigger than that.
No, Authors of Pain was a tag team that was a part of it. That was the Final Testament.
Final Testament. Okay. Do you think it would have been a good? Do you think it would have been a good rivalry, Final Testament versus the Wyatts? Or do you think it was just one and the same, basically, one for SmackDown, one for Raw type of thing?
It's kind of one and the same, but I do think it would have been something interesting if they could have built it properly.
I think so too.
But we're giving them a very little credit here. That they actually would build something even in this realm now, that having the Wyatts here and there basically doing the same thing Karrion's doing now. Whoever wins this tag team match, this main event tag team match, is legit going to get to a point where, yeah, they'll fight the Wyatts. They probably lose. But you're not going to give the same energy where Karrion Kross is doing a backstage promo, hyping it up, and you're hanging on every word. It's just, it's two different people. Mm-hmm. Bo Dallas is Bo Dallas, yes, but he's not Bray Wyatt. So he's not going to get that same energy Karrion Kross did. But Bray Wyatt would have. He would have, guaranteed. To be honest with you, this may be controversial, and I got to say this on the actual video stream on Twitch here. I'll say it like this. I don't think in a world where Bray Wyatt was still with us, rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. In a world where Bray Wyatt was still with us, I don't think Karrion Kross would have been hired back in WWE. I don't think he would have been hired.
Really?
They would have altered his character if he was, but that last version, the version of him now before he left WWE, while he was very calculated, so was Bray. But Bray's was a lot more front and center, where Karrion had to pay attention more.
Mm-hmm.
But over time, I felt like they was building Bray's character to be more calculated. In that sense, if Bray was still with us now, then there would have been no reason why we would be even stressing about Karrion, because we would have Bray Wyatt. That's my honest opinion.
I remember, see, for me, when I was playing one of the Smackdowns, one of the WWEs, they were talking about, I think, like WrestleMania or something. It was something that they were doing. Matter of fact, yeah, I think it was when you get to play as John Cena, you get to play through all of his matches and all that. So they were talking about that match where it was during COVID.
Okay.
It was him versus Bray, and he was playing the mind games. And
yeah.
Okay, so I kind of see what you're talking about
there. He was very meticulous on how he did his storylines, because he was one of the very few that were able to craft how he wanted the story to go. I mean, obviously within the realm of whatever Vince approved at the time, but Vince saw the moneymaker that everybody loved him and the way that they had this character going, because they loved Bray, ironically, from his NXT days, where he was the swamp water, backwater voodoo character, Bray Wyatt, which I love that version. I love the theme song, the snapping. Yeah, just in more in the light.
Okay.
And I don't know, there was something about his energy was just so different, because even when he talked, he had that low, raspy Jake the Snake Roberts voice, but he knew when to turn it on. And his facial expressions scared the shit out of you, but you believed him. And that's the same kind of feeling Karrion gives. But it's tough, because I feel like they saw that in Karrion, but he wasn't
controllable.
Yeah, he wasn't. Bo Dallas is WWE through and through. Like, that's Mike Rotunda, for those who don't know, Orin R. Shyster, aka IRS. That's his son. That is also Bray's dad. So you get what I mean? There's nepotism that runs crazy in the entertainment world. Is that a shot of Fireball? And hey, there's our guy Ron True Killings. We could have did more with Truth in that moment, but whatever. We already know how we feel about it. The point that I was trying to make is, Karrion Kross is going to be who he is. I feel like he's going to go on a hell of a run on the independent scene. I do have him becoming maybe a small time like a belt collector, hitting a few indies where he becomes their world champion and taking around. I know he's going to be at House of Glory in October. Get your money and make them see why you deserve to be back. If that's where you want to be in WWE, you have to make them see it.
I don't understand how you didn't do that. You had two
volume, man.
You had two documentaries. You have a book. You were outselling everybody in merch, or one of the highest selling people. How much more shit do you need?
I don't know.
Fam, the fucking documentary was showcasing a bunch of fans rooting for the heel to beat the shit out of the babyface. That alone is all you fucking need. So you have to do that for two reasons. One, because you see the organic love that he's getting from the fans. You want to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
You're an analytics guy.
Yeah.
That means money. That means merchandise.
It does.
That means bookings.
It does.
Means all that shit. But that also means if you have this match and you let this motherfucker lose, you're now going to make it very fucking hard for that babyface to continue being a babyface.
True.
And it's already difficult to do that because we're looking at Sami Zayn like the dumbest motherfucker that there is right now. Because For all of this, nigga, you could have took the deal with Paul Heyman a long time ago,
But-
and you could have maybe become champion. That would have shook some shit up in SmackDown.
But he is a beloved babyface character.
How beloved?
Beloved enough
How
that
beloved? Because
enough to where that he's been still in the company, re-signed recently, and carrying across as expendable.
he's not the same. Nobody gives a fuck the way they used to.
Wait, about who?
About Sami Zayn.
Do you not give a fuck? Or those people who chant whoa, whoa, oh, 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 who love Sami Zayn? Yeah, big difference. Big difference.
What's gonna happen?
Damn, Montez.
Yo.
Athletic motherfucker, bro.
Y'all gotta step up and use this guy.
That's what I got him in tag team, man. I don't
Fuck
think
that. But here's what's gonna happen. Fine. Maybe I'm just being in my own head and using my opinion to shape how the world feels. That's bad on me. But what you're gonna fuck around and have happen though, whether this is my opinion or
I know
not,
exactly where he about to go with this.
you're gonna make Sami Zayn win and you're gonna have a moment. You're not gonna have a run.
Nope.
Nobody's gonna give a fuck once he gets the belt because it's like, where do we go from here? It's almost kind of very, very close. Not the same at all to what we saw with Cody. It's like he finally finished the story. Now where do we go?
Ooh, he said Cody.
Almost the same, but very different. Because Cody is Cody.
We've enacted QB1's name.
Because Cody is Cody, it was able to work.
Of course.
Had Cody be a smidget different than what he is and what he gives us consistently every week, we would have had a very fucking hot moment. The same hot moments that that WWE seems to only placate towards. That's why we get the Jelly Rolls. That's why we get fucking Pat McAfee. That's why we get Snoop Dogg. That's why we get fucking I Show Speed.
True.
Like, we're chasing moments. We're not chasing great storylines and cohesive character development anymore. That's why I don't think Sami Zayn winning in 2025 plus is the same as Sami Zayn winning in 2023 or whatever year prior, where it made sense for him to get it. Now, I'm all for a person working towards it and you're building the storyline up. You don't just give somebody a fucking title,
right?
Stephanie Becker, out the gate. You gotta let people work it, and you gotta let people get a taste of you. Like, pause. Let people understand, like, oh, okay, this person's a beast. There's no reason why this person shouldn't be winning. Damn, this person loses again. How many fucking times are you gonna let him lose? Okay, now this person's gonna be in the PLE. Oh my God, finally this person finally fucking wins. Now he can run it back and get the rematch. That's what character development and story building looks like. You give it 3, 4, 5, 6 months where you see the person win. You see the person getting fucked over by the heel. You see, interactions. I mean, interruptions and stuff like that. You see triple threats. You see other variables that make it difficult. You see the person overcome the odds and then win, and then it makes more sense.
Yep.
You don't do this shit now and then make it and think you're gonna have the same outcome. Now it's just gonna be like.
I feel like it's basically insulting the fans, especially the fans who've already rocked with Sami Zayn regardless, and now all of a sudden you want to talk about put him in title contention, but then you move him over to SmackDown. Now he's fighting for the U.S. Championship on this version of tonight's SmackDown. I just feel like they're trying to make sure. I don't know. I feel like they're trying to take care of the old guard first before the new. I know we talk about this a million times, but I agree with you in that sense. I love me some Sami Zayn. I always will. But trying to build him as
the next one,
not even just the next one, trying to build him as that 2017, 2018 Daniel Bryan yes movement, unexpected, overly babyface world champion out of nowhere. Doesn't work for Sami Zayn because y'all tried several times already and it didn't work out and y'all never pulled the trigger. Regardless if that was during the Vince McMahon or Triple H era, as Blackout's point, it's still WWE. Y'all should have did it with Sami. Sami should have been a world champion. Even when this new belt, when I think there was a chance him and Seth could have fought, and I think there's something happened then. Sami should have been a world champion. It does not make any sense of how they fielded his character to where it's at now. In that sense, You had Karrion Kross high enough to where he could have had a world championship run. You can judge me for that comment if you want. But the last time I checked, people have high merch sales, Jey Uso. People who actually are consistent in the ring that actually start to wrestle, Gunther, all equate into somebody who eventually becomes a world champion in this era of WWE. Cody hasn't been there a few weeks. Yes, you have him doing movies, cool, but you're on a world tour that has not seen the world champion. But I digress. Bet you Karrion Kross would have showed up today. Yeah, he may not have been in a movie role, but he would be there as your world champion. But again, I digress.
Karrion Kross to me is the male Chelsea Green.
Ooh. That's an interesting one. I'm
going to show up. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to be the good soldier. But I can only do what you can give me. And that's been the fight this whole entire time. I don't think there's ever been a moment where Chelsea Green hasn't given us gold. I don't think there's ever been a time where Karrion Kross hasn't given us absolute gold.
Yeah.
When you have people that are consistently giving you everything that you need plus more, and I honestly sometimes feel like giving us something behind the curtains sometimes is more impactful and more powerful than what you can give us in the ring. Because it takes true star power to be able to make us involved. That's why I think people felt the way we did about Tuesday. When you have somebody that's that well-rounded, that is that good in and out of the ring, you can't squander them. You can't fuck them over.
So, but here's your counter to that. How old is Ron Truth Killings? Love the guy. I love you, Ron. Remember, love Ron. But
how old is to still go at it with any of them?
Yeah, but then you'd be our counterpoint in the fact of building new talent. We just rehired Ron Killings, who I know cost a bit of money because of his tenure, of his age, of his success, and so on and so forth, which could have stopped somebody else being signed. On that other regard, on that same regard, on that same regard, you now want our Truth back. He now did his haircut, all that shit. You then now put him in the same role as John Cena. John Cena beats him as his heel. Move on. You have not done anything with his character since then. There is no chance that once this contract is over with Ron, he is going to resign. Why would he? Because they're not doing nothing with him. Because we forced WWE to resign him. They have no obligation to. Don't care about his age. They don't care. They don't care, bro. They don't. Same way in the same role in Karrion Kross. Yeah, you're right. He has a book. You think WWE get a portion of that? Nope. But they would love to because they want to have that control of their stars.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have anything for our Truth. Now, here's why. Part of what you said was bullshit. Signing him could have possibly fucked over the chance of a younger talent being able to get their shine.
True. Okay.
Find that to be bullshit because we have young talent here that they're not doing shit with. So why the fuck am I signing new talent when I have young talent right here to use?
Listen.
Sometimes saving money is as good as making money. If not better.
True.
So I could save money on getting new talent by just using the same fucking talent that I have.
Honestly, go ahead.
And then if we're talking analytics and numbers.
Oh shit.
Okay. Sorry, to keep you guys updated with what's going on, we have the Street Profits going up against The Miz and Carmelo Hayes, and the Wyatts have just came down into the ring.
Yeah, they're right in front of the commentary, and
Street Profits don't give a fuck about none of that
they
shit.
do not. 1, 2, 3. Street Profits are your number one contenders.
But yeah, going back to what you were saying about analytics and numbers. Yeah, it cost me probably a pretty penny to get Ron Killings back. We didn't really fucking want him.
Yeah.
But maybe that was the plan all along. Let's see how beloved he really is. Win or lose, we get rid of him. We don't got to pay somebody as much money anymore because whoever we're gonna get is not gonna have the tenure and experience that he has. That's
True.
number one. Number two, if you get him back,
Oh shit!
Okay.
They added the Street Profits versus the Wyatt Six, specifically Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy for the WWE Tag Team Champions to a PLE.
I mean, they're not gonna win Street Profits, but let's fucking go. Thank you. That would be 3 belts now. 3 belts for Clash. 3 out of the 11 belts, mind you. You can't defend them all the time, but fuck, 3 out of 11. What are we doing? But yeah, let's see how well loved he really is, because we signed him back. All of the merch, all of that shit's gonna shoot the fuck up. All of our viewership shoots the fuck up. When Ron Killings came back, that was probably one of the most viewed moments at the time.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win in that situation.
Yeah. But as a person who's a fan of Ron Killings, what more would you want him to do on TV now that he's resigned? Because right now all they're doing is giving him the same character he's had for almost 20 years.
Unfortunately, the only thing worse than black talent is a black talent that's angry and that has a voice and influence. So no, the Ron Killings that came back, not the R-Truth, they had to bury that. That's why I think they pivoted and made John Cena a babyface. Because I think they could have. I think had it not been for Truth Day, they would have rolled that shit until the wheels fell off, and at least made the babyface turn later on in his title run.
I actually believe that. I believe that.
Because once you turn John Cena babyface again, you put the fire out of out of Ron Killings. Now what the fuck is he gonna be angry about?
He has nothing to be angry about.
And I like how he turns it on. You saw that look when he was giving Aleister Black, like, listen, my nigga, like, don't get it fucked up. Like, this smile can turn to a frown, bro.
Real quick.
So I like that, but I think that they extinguished his character because they knew he was going to be on some bullshit that they was not going to be able to handle. Same thing with Karrion Kross. If they cannot control you, then they can't do anything with you or for you.
Nope. Again, this is why I'm like Karrion Kross's book. Pretty sure WWE gonna get a single cut of that, or the fact that he uploaded that documentary directly on his YouTube, so it can be aggregated, so he can make money off of it. Yep. It's smart moves. It's all smart moves. He know people are gonna be watched, but it's also he can now go back to WWE, which I think I'm going to send you a video of, and it also interlaps into a conversation since it's about to. The main event is about to be Solo Sikoa versus Sami Zayn for the U.S. Championship. Sami Zayn just came out. So while we have this time a commercial, and then the LFG commercial comes on. Wow. But yeah, what I was saying was, I was stuck on Harlan Lewis. That's my guy right there.
Yeah.
What I was saying was, this reminds me of a video that recently came out that his name is now Bishop Dyer, but you would know him as Baron Corbin.
Okay.
Baron Corbin was on the radio station, radio show Busted Open Radio. And he started talking about the behind the scenes of WWE and their contract situation. Now, just like Blackout said earlier with, he was trying to make the point from somebody online, you didn't want to butcher it.
Oh, Paul Heyman?
Yeah. I don't want to butcher what Bishop said, but I'm going to do my best to, sum it up. Long story short, way back when WWE would focus on your numbers, they would come to the table with your contract negotiation and say, let's look at your followers, let's look at this, let's look at that, let's look at your merch sales, and that's how we're going to equate to how much we're going to pay you for 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 year, whatever. On that same sake and that same route, for someone like Bishop Dyer, that's a dope promo. Someone like Bishop Dyer, who is Baron Corbin, he said personally, and we loved us some Baron Corbin. Listen, everything from his Lone Wolf character in NXT to when he became the unfortunate first ever person to have a failed Money in the Bank contract cash-in, ironically against John Cena, but that's either here nor there. We rode for Baron Corbin for a good while. If you put what he said in perspective to what his career is versus to some of the superstars now, a lot of it makes sense to those analytics and to Karrion Kross's point. I get what you're saying. Merch sales, all of that when it comes to carrying across. He was number one. Cool. I feel like at that time, the percentages they had with carrying, he was making more money than WWE was making money off them shirts. And I think because he did an interview on Ariel Helwani show where he said that he did get a contract renewal. He ain't like it. I think that contract renewal stated that they were getting more percentages off of his merch and they want to cut off his book. And I think that's what he said, no, on top of the fact that you didn't offer my wife a contract too, nah, come back. And they didn't come back and it was like, nah, we won't offer you another one. And Kyrie was like, cool, okay. I feel like that's why Karrion Kross is not in WWE. Because WWE is so control hungry of some of these people, they understand that this intellectual property of what Karrion Kross is, there's money here. But we want more of what he can make. We want to make more than he's going to make off of this. Karrion was like, nah, I don't want to do it. That's why he didn't get the push that he did. I honestly believe that. Versus a Jey Uso, where we can talk till we blue in the face. Bloodline, all that. He regressed. He said it on Unreal. He regressed. He dropped the ball when it came to be world champion. But those merch numbers, I'm sure it looked mighty fucking well versus Karrion Kross's numbers. That all them t-shirts that they sold, WWE seeing a pretty... Jey Uso too. I'm pretty sure WWE was seeing a lot more money off of them. Oh, yeah. And they still to this day.
Now in a fatal four-way, he has nothing to fucking do with.
Which is why he's going to eat the damn pin.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
But that's where it's apples and oranges with someone like Karrion. I agree with you as far as Karrion. But if Karrion's going to give up more money for them to make more money off of him, he's not going to go back. And he's not going to be back in WWE no time soon.
But see, at the same time, let's talk about what you were saying earlier. For those of you who are just tuning in, weren't you just saying, I got to have you so nobody else can have you?
True. But WWE is smart. Karrion Kross has an unfortunate history with one Don Callis, more specifically his wife. Don Callis is a primary focal member in AEW. Karrion Kross' number to be signed is probably, I won't say astronomical, but it's pretty fucking high. The only company that would probably be able to match it is AEW. He's not going to go to AEW because of the sake of the disrespect that happened with this person, Don Callis, because of his wife. So, WWE knows this. Go ahead, big fish. Go figure it out. Go ahead and swim and see what happens. Because I know, like Drew McIntyre, if you become big again, maybe you could come back to the marketing table and we can decide maybe 50-50 on your merch sales or something. Maybe we come 50-50 on your next book. Oh, we'll even help you get more book signings too. We'll throw some incentives in there because we see how big a star you are in independent and you didn't go to AEW. That's how they get Karrion back.
Speaking of which, if you're watching this, I do have a book signing for my book.
Yes,
Part 1,
talk about
September 28th. I'm going to be at Ledgewood, Barnes & Noble's in New Jersey.
Yep.
From 12 to 3. So, yeah, just because we're talking about books, I just have to do a shameless plug.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry about that. But, yeah. So, I hear what you're saying. Proceed.
Yeah, it's just a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Just call it a hardcore match, my nigga. Like, y'all say everything but a fucking hardcore match. Like, whatever.
Anyway, that's where we've gotten to the point with WWE now. And that's mainly because, honestly, this whole TKO situation, if those checks and balances don't balance out, for a person like, for an incoming superstar, they want to be able to know that you can make money for them off the spot because their contracts are always going to be favorable to the company until you become something to where it can be re-signed. Like a Sami Zayn, who contract came up, I think, a year or two ago? You can quote me in the comments if you want. But I think it was a year or two ago. I'm pretty sure in that contract, he has a little bit of leverage because he's Sami Zayn. He's built up his equity in WWE. His equity as Sami Zayn won't count outside WWE. His likeness, of course, but not his name. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's all about on how they're going to make it outside of WWE. Because someone like Ricochet talked about it recently. I wasn't heavily prompt as somebody to be in the mid-card main event on NEC and WWE. But because I had that one viral moment with Logan in the middle of Royal Rumble, Logan Paul turns around and loses to Seth Rollins. Well, we can't have Logan Paul lose twice. Hey Ricochet, remember that promo you did, or remember that encounter mid-air that went viral on what you call it? We want you to lose to Logan Paul, because Logan Paul got to get his lick back. He got to get a win. And even Ricochet said it then. That's what they focus on. They know who the people they want to focus on, the people they want to be able to make money off of. If you want to be in that company, you got to find a way to come back bigger without going to the competition for them to say, okay, I understand now. Let's do 50-50. Because before, we couldn't do 50-50 because you couldn't do shit without us.
And see, that goes to another point I was about to make too. How unfair is it? Unfortunately, I found out. I think we was having this conversation. I think you were saying this in the group chat that a lot of the AEW is going to stop fucking with hiring wrestlers that are leaving WWE, because unfortunately, what will happen is sometimes they will be the ones that will leak information back to WWE. Because sometimes they eventually do sign back
and go back. Anyway. Yeah. I think it's a smart decision on Tony Khan's part. I mean, listen, we can talk until blue in the face of how much the Dakota Kais and Sammy, let's throw the jacket right there, buddy.
Yeah. You fucked up the whole thing.
Fucked the whole thing up. Still hyped though. Yeah. We could talk until you're blue in the face of all the people that was let go recently when we did that show. I mean, yeah, Jakara Jackson ended up becoming Mara Sade. She's in TNA. She's doing well. Yeah, she's about to do a fucking 6-person tag team match with the fucking Hardys. Like,
oh wow,
like dream shit that you would have
never been able to do here.
Exactly, but the fact that she couldn't be Jakara Jackson TNA, she had to be her own name. Let's say she ended up becoming Knockouts World Champion, the same way JC Jane was. Now you can say, well, I've built the Mara Sade name. You're going to hire me back as Mara Sade because that's my name. I own that. You could get this percentage in merch and whatever else I do, but I'm staying Mara Sade. That's what you have to do if you want to really stick to being WWE. And that's why I'm glad Tony Khan was like, you know what? Let me hold off on hiring certain people. This is why I'm glad a Dakota Kai is not in AEW. Because who knows? She may go back home, wrestle in wherever she's from. I can't think on the top of my head. Oh, New Zealand, I think. Yeah. Don't judge me. She'll go back there. I mean, right now she's spending time with Carl Fredericks, who's her boyfriend. Eddie Thorpe.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Like, they're enjoying their time together. Like, it's understanding, like, right now, their focus being out of the WWE system. They both can rebuild themselves and eventually come back. Because, you know, like you said, WWE love the couples. But you're going to have to build the equity. Make yourself valuable outside of us. Because we've made you valuable. And that's how sometimes they think. You can tell about some of the people they have there.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying. How important does pride play into things? If I'm a carrying cross and you say, hey, listen, I don't like this contract, can we like maybe switch the numbers? Can we like renegotiate? No, these are the numbers. You don't like it? Fuck off. Okay, I'm going to go fuck off then.
I think WWE has got that point.
What I'm going to be or what I already am, and I take my fan base with me.
Right.
And then they want to try to run it back like, hey, you bringing those numbers in. Let's talk.
Yeah, call.
How much pride goes into that when carrying or someone carrying-esque says, suck my dick?
A whole lot. Because there's not many people who can say they walked away from WWE and turned around and said, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to make more money on the indies. Because people like a Matt Cardona, who used to be Zack Ryder, who's have come out and said, when I left WWE, I didn't know what I was going to do with myself. But I realized how big of the independent world is. I used my real name. He trademarked that shit. And he said, I think he even said in his first year or two outside WWE, he made more money than he did in his last 2 contracts. He was there almost like 12 years. But the fact that he did that and not be back in WWE, he talks about it constantly on the basis on what it means to be back. But honestly, I don't think he needs to go back. You made that much money, bro. Fuck WWE. Fuck him. Stay on the indies. I think that's the same thing that's going to happen to Carrion. I think that's the same thing that's going to happen to Carrion. I think it's all about the person itself. The person and the character. Because Karrion is someone who's deep thought. How many times me and you, and even Leak said we could see him in a movie, or we could see him doing something film wise, or even television wise outside of the world of wrestling. I believe that. I believe we're going to see Karrion in the movie. Will it be under WWE umbrella or independently? Who knows? But whenever that happens, if it's independently, I'll for certain. Hey, Karrion, saw the movie. Maybe we should talk. Come to Stanford. Nah, bro. If I'm Karrion, I'll say fuck that. I'll holler at you in 5 years when I've almost made the equal amount of my fucking contract.
But see, this is my thing. You're saying the examples and the points that you just made are coming from a stance of I've made more money outside the WWE. Why the fuck do I need you? Which is great.
Right.
Now, this is why I'm saying how important does pride play into it. Let's say Karrion is not making WWE money.
Right.
But they still coming to him anyway.
Yeah.
Usually when you're in that type of situation, you know, you might acquiesce and might have to give in. Like,
give in a little bit.
Money, blah, blah, blah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, how important is pride? Because somebody like Karrion is gonna be all right. Maybe they're not gonna make the same amount.
He's gonna be all right.
But just knowing that the fan base loves him that much, they're gonna follow him. The way that him, and Leak are busting ass trying to get tickets to see what is it, House of Glory?
House of Glory.
That alone says how invested we are into seeing his success, seeing great wrestling. So you think even without the proper compensation, you think he still has that in him to be like, suck my dick, fuck out of here? Because honestly, that's one of the only that's another good quality of why we fuck with him so much. Is because throughout all of this, he has never said a bad thing about WWE.
No, and I love that about him, man.
He's like, me and Scarlett would love to finish our careers here in WWE. We just want to renegotiate the numbers. That is so much more beautiful than how I'm speaking on behalf of him. Because if I was him, I would have been like, nah, this is my dick. Whoever at this table wants to suck first, have that. Have that. Go right the fuck in there. Because I refuse to devalue myself to make sure you guys move the percents that you need to pay back a motherfucker that had no business being in our fucking business to begin with.
Very true.
No, that's not my job. Y'all figure that shit out. My job is to entertain and make great wrestling. I do that. Cut me my fucking check. Stop playing with me.
I think that's why we're at a level now where Karrion was on Raw, right?
Yes, he was. The only brand that makes sense for him.
That's why I think you get to the point now of having more, which is, it's smart, it's business, but it fucking...
More Bo Dallas?
No, well, that's because he's on SmackDown. But, yes, more Bo Dallas in the Karrion Kross character sense, but as a body-wise, this is why we have AAA. Let's get the iguana guy to come up and do a match and to fill that time.
You're going to try to replace Karrion Kross with an iguana, nigga?
Yep, because he... Want to know why? Because Iguana outsold Karrion Kross based on merch numbers. He did. Kids love animals, bro.
Oh, well, that's true. That's fair.
And what is WWE? And what is WWE? A PG company who caters to families.
No, you don't.
Yeah, they do. And the crux of
it. You cater to families.
And the crux of it.
$70,000 for fucking tickets.
In an
economic crisis. That's who you cater to.
Is there going to be a kid somewhere to be like, I want to see John Cena, and this parent is going to
fold?
We
ain't got John Cena money, nigga. You better take your ass to House of Glory.
You must looking at the wrong skin color here, brother.
Nah.
There's certain skin colors that will take that extra step to please their kid. Okay, we're going to go. I've been holding the money for it.
But see, this is what I'm saying. That's a minority. What you're talking about is the minority.
You're right, but they operate as it's a majority. That's how WWE's mind has been so crowded for so long.
You're not talking about their family friendly anymore. You're talking about a specific financial demographic. You're not talking about families anymore. Yes,
but they see it as it's going to be families because even in that small demographic, there's going to be, if there's not a brother or sister or daughter or son, there's going to be a cousin, an uncle, or somebody who's going to want to see a WWE who hasn't seen it in 10, 20, 30 years, who remembers a Sid Vicious, I'm not going to mention that man's name because he's buried 12 feet under. A Sid Vicious, a Lex Luger, who remembers a Bret Hart, who remembers a British Bulldog, who's thinking...
Isn't British Bulldog dead?
But he ain't do what that yellow and red motherfucker did.
Oh,
In that realm, that's where you're going to focus on families in. The people who loved wrestling back then. But again, you throw in the fact that's why they're doing more international shows because international people don't get WWE often. They didn't. They not until now, and that's why they don't do as many American shows anymore.
But I think another point that you forget, the euro.
Oh shit! I forgot about this.
The euro and the British pound is more than the American dollar. Last time I checked. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right. Who does that matter to?
That matters to WWE.
Of course it does.
Because yeah, like you said, we're gonna do more overseas shows because they can afford it.
Yep.
Once again, you're talking about a certain financial class. We're not talking about the regular family.
They don't care about y'all.
But you said that.
No, but that's how they see it as. They don't see us as a regular family no more. Those minority are the regular family because that's what they want. They want your high caliber, high credit people. And if you're not high caliber or high credit, your social media follows is going to be your credit, and that's how we're going to eat off of you. That's why they like when people share videos and stuff like that. Because they'll reshare it, invite that person. Oh, they have 2 million followers? Hey, let's give them some side tickets and make sure they share more. So more people can say, oh, I want to go to a WWE match because Sabrina Carpenter was there, or Drewski was there, or Metro Boomin was there, because they follow those people closer than they'll follow wrestling. They go for the vibe. They're not really going for the wrestling, but that little kid is going for the wrestling. So I'm going to bring this little nephew along and say, hey, yeah, it's for the kid, but it's really for me because WWE gave me these free tickets. That's what it is. They only care about the minority now. That's why it's only $60 for an AEW ticket. That's why there's the alternative. Because the AEW or TNA or House of Glory exists. Because people can't afford that shit. That's why we're going crazy to try to see Karrion Kross. Because I couldn't afford to see him on Monday Night Raw. You couldn't. Lee couldn't. Yano couldn't. We couldn't. But they know that. That's the sad part. Because we'll get Karrion Kross for maybe, honestly, this is my hot take. We'll get Karrion Kross for maybe a year. He'll build up that Killer Kross name, and I bet you WWE keeps knocking a year later to get him back.
Which is where he will then invite them to the Franks camp, or where he should.
Will he? That's his dream job.
If I was him, possibly.
But that's his dream job. That's what he wants to be.
But if I lived my dream, then maybe it wasn't for me. Then maybe it ran its course.
You need to listen to his podcast with Chris Van Vliet because he said, regardless of ill will and what they did in negotiation, he said he'll go back in a heartbeat.
And I respect and I love him for that. I appreciate that.
He would go back.
Me access for me to be able to be entertained and watch him on a weekly basis. Great. But I just know me and my spirit and how I move.
Said my spirit.
Yo.
Rich spirit. Bro. Stop playing with me.
See, this is my art. So I like something that you just said, and I'm going to extrapolate on that. You were talking about AEW, like there's $60 for a ticket and stuff like that. Cool. Great. Now, what happens when Bell to Bell becomes successful?
Yeah.
What happens when Bell to Bell becomes successful? Or, let's just use us for a minute. We become successful. We have the money for these WrestleMania, these 2-night SummerSlams.
Yeah.
We have the money for these tickets. Do we see the value in going now that we've achieved this status? That's the important thing. Because we're not doing this to bring our little Susie and Ariana to watch the show.
Right.
We're doing this now because we can now
afford it.
But now because we're in that class and we're actual avid wrestling fans, do we see the value in even fucking going? Because you see that if you haven't noticed this whole entire video, if you're just watching, go back. We've been chewing away everything that WWE has been doing.
Yeah.
From the bad storylines to the burying of characters to just dumbass no titles being defended at PLE. All these bad things. Do we see the value in even wanting to go?
When you put that perspective, for me and you, no. But if a little Susie or Ariana who enjoys seeing wrestling, you end up doing it for them, and that's what WWE is hoping for. That your heartstrings get pulled on, and then they get for your pockets. That's what they're hoping. That is exactly what they're hoping for.
But what happens when you start seeing that, and it's like, okay, I see that. This is why I think parents being more involved with their children. Talk about it. Is so important.
Talk about it.
If I see that my heartstrings are being pulled because Ariana, which is my niece,
My daughter.
Yeah. Wants to go to a SmackDown or a WWE event. I love her to fucking death. She is the cutest thing in the world. Even she's growing into her own, becoming her person. My heartstrings get pulled very fucking fast. If I had the money, unfortunately, yes, front row seats, standing 2 hours for the memorabilia. She's gonna get her own belt. All of that shit.
Pause that.
What's up?
Oh, I thought Sammy was gonna hit the haluva kick.
Oh, of course he's not. Well, he might.
Oh shit!
Oh, actually did. But now, me knowing that my heartstrings are being pulled, let's just say it's not Ariana. Let's say it's actually my kid or somebody's kid, somebody that they have real control over. Because I don't have control over Ariana the way that you would. So a better example would be you having. Oh shit! Oh shit! I'm sorry. Hold on, y'all. Yo, did Sami Zayn become the fucking
U.S. champion?
Oh shit!
What are we doing?
Wow! Get the fuck out of here! Y'all actually let him win?
What?
Right before PLE at that.
Yo, like, come on, bro.
PLE's every other weekend,
yeah, pretty much. That don't even count. I could have did this on Saturday Night Main Event, but still, on a random ass SmackDown, like you were talking about, a title match change on SmackDown. But again, this is the shit that they do overseas, and it's like, I get it, but damn, a nice little New York crowd or something like that would have loved that shit too.
Yeah.
Wow, shout out to Sami Zayn, man.
He finally finished the story.
Well, that's part one of the story. Remember, he still needs a world title. He needs a world title.
It's gonna be another 10 years.
Shit. Honestly, where do you go with this? You know what? Let me not overthink it. He just won the title.
Well, the predictable route is he's gonna have to run it back. He's gonna deal with Bloodline. He might get invited to Survivor Series War Games.
Oh shit! I forgot about fucking War Games, bro.
Let's.
Oh, my man got the pyro too. Let's go, Sammy. Give me that WrestleMania pyro for Sammy.
That's what's up.
Shout out to Sami Zayn, but go ahead. You were saying.
But yeah, I want to wrap up. I do want to get back to this point. I was talking about parental control being so important when you're dealing with kids. Now, a better example would be you and Ariana. Ariana coming to you saying, "Hey, I really want to go to SummerSlam." You have the money now,
right?
You know you have the money. She don't know what the fuck.
She don't know what I have.
But you gonna ask regardless,
right?
You know you have the money. So obviously, this is baby girl. You're trying to create memories. This is going to be a good bonding experience. All those great things. So cool. You go for it. You do the SummerSlam, big pass, all of the bells and whistles.
Right.
This is where parental control is so important. You just got finessed and your heartstrings just got pulled for let's just say 15,000, 20,000. Because you didn't do the front row, which was like 70,000 for WrestleMania 42 tickets.
Right.
You did 15,000.
He's so smart.
Now, were you? Now you're gonna be smart because now you know how much it costs for AEW tickets.
Yep.
So now, what are you gonna start watching on a more consistent basis? What are you gonna have Ariana catch her eye on now instead of Raw or SmackDown
AEW.
or Saturday Night Main Event? Now you're planting the seed. So now the next time your heartstrings are getting pulled, you're spending $2,500. You're not spending $15,000 anymore.
True. That's
what I'm saying. Eventually, that heartstring shit is cool until you start looking at the competition and seeing, hey, I'm getting quality wrestling. I'm getting decent storylines. You can attest it.
Decent storylines.
And I'm getting it for an affordable family fucking price.
Yeah.
I'm not going by myself.
Yeah.
God forbid if I fucking shoot the club up more than once and I have kids plural, I gotta spend 3 times or 4, however many kids I have.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing?
And that's what they're hoping for too. The fact that there's 3, 4, 5 different damn kids that they can get the money off of you.
Fam, you could bankrupt and go negative just by doing one night of a PLE. That's insane. What are we talking about?
I mean, dead ass.
As opposed to going to your competition, as opposed to going to AEW, that is equally matched when it comes to wrestling talent and storylines.
And I'm going to
save money. Eventually, we're gonna start getting to that point. WWE is not going to be the big kid on the block forever. You cannot squash talent for so long.
For so long. You're right. You're right.
Somebody's going to figure out a way, either because they're just that good or because you're just making that many fucked up decisions.
I was going to say, making that many fucked up decisions.
Or a combination of both. You can't sit up here and keep overcharging people for the same fucking storyline. Like, it should not be 2026 and niggas are paying out the wazoo for a bloodline storyline.
Let's talk about it.
Like, you can't keep doing that. Eventually, your fan base, whether it be the one that you're talking about, the 1% that has the money to do it, eventually, just because I have the money doesn't mean I want to do it.
Or it doesn't mean I have to spend it, not on that specifically.
Exactly. Like, sometimes, yes, when you have the money to do something, it's a flex. Like, when you have big-ass rims or a big-ass chain, it's a flex.
Yeah.
So eventually, common sense comes into play and says, why am I doing this? What value do I see in this? And then after a while, people grow out of certain things. Things are not a flex the way they used to. Sometimes also, you didn't touch on this, but this is a good point to have too. Keeping up with the Joneses. Oh. I'm that family man that took my family to WrestleMania both nights. Can you say the same? It could be that.
It could be
but
that.
But eventually, after a while, it's like, yeah, I did that, but I've grown, I've matured. I've made great memories with them, but yeah, we go to like the wrestling event that's down the street.
Yeah,
we do that.
Right.
It's great. We get home in a decent amount of time. We don't have that much traffic. It's not that much. It's not that expensive. Eventually, it's going to start to transition into that. And then what happens to the future of WWE when that takes place?
Honestly, they hope for the best. They honestly hope for the best.
Enough. I need it.
You're the
numbers guy. You're the analytics guy. That does not sound like analytics to me.
You think it's not enough, but for WWE's bottom dollar, they honestly understand the fact that they're going to keep getting people for their money, for their pockets, as long as they continue to go to the shows, as long as they have the social media interactions as well. It's just one of those things that they bet on moments more than they bet on you. You get what I mean? Hence why a John Cena run is happening now, and once that because this is the one question I asked someone recently. Once John Cena runs ends, who's the next focus that's going to be like the focus has been Cody and Cena for the most part for the most of the year.
For that, yes.
Once once he retires in December, we're not moving into the road of WrestleMania. Who becomes the next lead in that? Is it Cody again? Do we bank on it being Cody again? What do we do in those cases? I feel like they're so driven on the fact that right now they're making money off of Cena. They're not looking at the future. And you're making valid points, but at this current moment, I don't think WWE is seeing valid points. They're seeing what's the here and now. That's why Sami Zayn can get a U.S. Championship run, because once it's all said and done and Cena does retire, let's say Sami Zayn is still the champion by this December. We can milk that babyface run until we can figure something out.
Okay. How profitable, or not even profitable, how sensible of a business does that sound to you?
It doesn't. But there's other aspects that WWE is going to try to benefit off of.
Fam, how viable does that fucking sound? Let me come to you right now. You don't know me. We're not brothers. Hey, listen, I have this business that I really want you to sponsor. I want some sponsorship from you, or I want you to invest it. Okay, well, what's your projection for 5 years from now? I don't know. I'm just betting on moments right now. But these moments have gone really good these last couple of months. So yeah, do you want to do business? How the fuck does that sound to you? How invested are you going to be, if at all?
Listen,
the best sweet talker can't pull that.
But you're operating as someone you're speaking as if you're not proven already. WWE is already proven.
You're proven in a different.
Doesn't matter. The dollar is still green.
No.
The dollar is still green.
If I'm investing into you, or if I'm sponsoring, if I'm doing anything that results in my money, my time, my energy, my brand, I have to look at everything, and that's what I'm saying.
You think Snickers pay attention to everything?
What?
You think Snickers is paying attention to everything? You think Prime, even if it's Logan Paul there, is paying attention to everything? No, they're seeing the money that's in their pocket.
Fair. That's a little different. But I'm talking about like the TKOs, anything that has to deal with something that I have to be able to see my money realistically. I'm not talking about a Snickers or a Slim Jim or anything like that. They're gonna. I can't. But that's another thing too. We can't gauge and see if this placement has actually benefited them in the long run.
And you won't. But for them, it's front and center every PLE every Monday night. It's benefiting somehow.
I promise you, I have never had a fucking Slim Jim in my fucking
Neither
life.
the fuck have I.
Don't intend to
even back when Randy Savage was fucking promoting it, I have never had a fucking Slim Jim in my life.
I knew that was Coke inside of his Slim Jim, so I definitely.
You know what? We gotta wrap up here. We
gotta
wrap up here, yo. Oh my god. We gotta fucking wrap up. There's a line there, bro. Oh my god.
And you saw somebody with a Slim Jim, and they was just like, oh yeah, that's not Slim Jim, my nigga. Even Slim Jim would be like, we have nothing to do with that. We can tell you what we put in there. Nothing makes you do that.
As we wrap up here in the Bell to Bell podcast, we're gonna be back for the PLE is at 2 p.m. on Sunday, right?
Oh shit.
Yeah, oh shit is right.
Fuck.
So that means either A, we're gonna purposely miss it so we can watch it live together on Sunday, or I'm gonna end up sitting here watching it anyway because I'm not fucking else to do, and then we just rewatch it again during the recording. Either way, Clash in Paris is at 2 p.m., but we will be recording that night, which will be our season finale, episode 8 of the podcast. King Leak TV is King Leak's Instagram. YP, y'all know. Also, make sure you follow Swiss Visual, SWIS Visuals on Instagram as well. Yeah, Blackout, do your social media real quick. And shout out the book signing again.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I have a book signing, Barnes & Noble at Ledgewood, New Jersey. I'll get the full address. I don't know it offhand, but yeah, shouts to everybody who's purchased the book already, like this guy here.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're in the area, please come down. I would love to see you. I'll sign your book, take pictures, do all of that shit. Shake hands, kiss hands, shake babies. What? BOK out the Rebel is the Instagram. Blackout the Rebel is the TikTok. The website is under construction, but when it's up and running, I'll get that out. The album is available, but it's going to be on the new website that I'm working on as we speak. Other than that, if you are an artist or you're a wrestler and you need theme music, I'm your guy. Holla at me. I'm pretty good.
Yeah, make the call. Instagram, all social medias. And shout out to the person who called me out on saying the bell to bell wrong. So I'm gonna make it easier. We have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, Twitter, Threads, you name it. We have a social media account. You visit any of our social medias, Bell to Bell Podcast. You connect with not only that, but our Twitch accounts, and also anything else as far as details you want to know about Bell to Bell Podcast. You email. The email is the2bell pod, P-O-D, @gmail.com. I've been butchering the email for the past 2 months. Fuck. But please, for business inquiries, please hit us up because we definitely want for season 2. We have a lot of plans in store, how we want to decorate the set. Your product placement could be right here or on TikTok Live right here or anywhere
right here, and it just spins around. We could do a lot of different things.
I'm so done with you, man.
Spin it, nigga, spin it.
Yo, what the fuck? Shout out to everybody who's on Twitch right now watching us. Shout out to everybody who's on TikTok. Who's over there?
I think it's Katie, if I'm not mistaken, because I see a big K at the. I don't know. Whoever y'all are watching, appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all. And for anything, we'll be back on both Twitch and TikTok Live for our usual pre-show. That is going to be our regular thing going forward. We're going to stream on Twitch. We'll try to do watch-alongs here and there, but we're going to stream on Twitch and that was fucked up. And stream on TikTok before every episode of the podcast going forward. But yeah, for DJ Mainstream, this is Blackout the Rebel, and this has been the Bell to Bell podcast. What are we going to do?
But I was going to say, you kind of messed up with the email and everything like that, trying to give everybody the social handles. Mm-hmm. It's a very easy way for people to be reminded of our social handles. It's just 3 words.
Go ahead.
It's Bell to Bell. Yeah. Very easy.
Yo.
It's really just 4 letters.
Oh my god, we're not doing this.
One word.
Oh my gosh.
Bam, nigga.
Later, y'all. I'm done. I'm fucking done.